What's up, people? What's up? How you guys doing? We're back here with another video for Mr. TCE channel. We're just fresh from the OTS championship. We did really good. Got the invite like I said I was gonna do. And we played the Evil Twin Runick Spright deck. Deck performed really well. I just want to show you the deck profile, even though I showed you most of it last video, but I want to talk about my matchups and how the tournament went. So without further ado, I'm just gonna get right onto it. For the live twins, we use the 2 Leelas, 2 Kiseko, 1 Kiseko Frost, and the Sunny Snitch. I'm gonna divide up the deck by engines because the deck is comprised of 3 different engines, and it's a bit cleaner this way. I had no problems with these ratios. I even bricked once when I opened multiples of these and one of these and like Runick Fountain. That's how the deck bricks. Okay, guys, it's like opening multiples of the same name, which makes you unable to do something about your turn effectively. If I would have went first, I had like 2 draws, but because of the nature of the deck that you need the normal summon and then you need the Spright name in order to do the extender, well, I wasn't able to do that. Still, I never activated this card, but maybe I just didn't draw it. This card was really good, and you know about the live twins. Let's get these out of the way. Next, we have the Spright engine, which is not the heart of the deck, but it's what gets the deck starting, since it gets you your extenders to make Gigantic Spright, and Gigantic Spright gets you into the Evil Twin name that you don't have already. So if you have access to Evil Twin Red, well, then you bring the Evil Twin Blue from the deck, and that way you have the link 2s, and you get the draw power, you get the pop, and you get the full combo. Drawing these 2 always sucks. That's why I'm actually considering running either the second starter or the Spright Smashers, just because drawing Jet with a starter is like drawing a blank. It's just an extender, which works for the purpose of the deck, but it's a bit counterproductive in card economy, Now for our last engine and the best engine of the deck, it's hands down, it's the Runick engine. We have the 3 Runick tips, we have the 3 Runick freezing curses, we got the 3 Runick flashing fire, we got the 3 Runick destruction, we got the 3 Runick slumber, 1 smiting storm, 1 dispelling, and the 2 fountains. This ending is insane. It's still insane. It's still gonna be insane. It gives you so much power to do what you want when you want and to play the turns however you see fit. It makes you able to just stand back and wait a turn, or go aggressive into milling, or you want to dig some cards and an answer, you want to dig an answer in quick play speed, you can, just because Runick Tip and Runick Fountain are insane cards. Like, people were complaining in the tournament, during the whole tournament, they were complaining the whole time about Runick Fountain. I should be one of the 2 effects once per turn. Like, yeah, bro, I know it's a good card. That's why we're playing the engine. Runick Flashing Fire clutched me in the last round, and Runick Slumber also. Like, they're all good cards in their own merit. These 2, they mostly serve as the first card you want to do, so as an extender, but this is a finisher. Like, you got your full board and you got like 4 or 5 cards in deck, I'm gonna mill you out. And this can get annoying, because if we're grinding out and you start adding cards to hand and I start discarding random cards, you are gonna get pissed, for real. This engine is insane. You guys should try it. With a Rise Art Band, it's gonna get a little more boost. It can struggle with Unchained just because we destroy lots of cards, but I think we can outgrind them to a point where their deck will just not function, since the engine pieces have to be in the deck for the deck to function, but we just banish them and out-resource them, and that's how we win. For non-engine, we have like the 2 Book of Moon, the triple tactics, and the 3 evenly match. I decided to run only 7 non-engine because I wanted to run 17 Runick spells, and I added the Smiting Storm for that purpose, because you want to draw the Evil Twin along with one of the Runick spells always. All the hands you want to go, you want to open that, but you can easily cut one of either the Smiting Storm or the Dispelling for either the 3rd Book of Moon or the 3rd Tactics. With a Rysart being banned, I'm not sure if I'm going to keep using Book of Moon. There's other cards that can be really useful. For example, Kaiyu's Book of Eclipse. Purely is still going to be a thing, but Book of Moon is not as impactful against Unchained and against other meta decks that are going to be up and coming in the next new format. So yeah, that's about it for the main deck. I have no complaints whatsoever on this specific list. It ran smoothly all the way, only bricked once, and that was on the Evil Twins, so that stuff happens. Now let's go to the side deck. We got the 3 DD Grows and the 3 Ash Blossom. Put this over here, 3 Ash Blossoms. So it's just hand traps. DD Grow came in clutch. Like, I drew multiple over the course of a game because of Runick Fountain, and guess what? It's not once per turn. So even if they try to do shenanigans on the graveyard, you can just discard both DD Grows, banish stuff that can be banished, and get ahead. Ash, I think I used Ash only once, and I got Tactics. They saw my hand, they shuffled the card from my hand. I wish I wouldn't have put Ash. Like, you just have it in your gut, like, I'm gonna do Ash and this guy's gonna triple tactics me and see my hand and he's just gonna destroy me. Like, sometimes you have that gut feeling, and I should have just put the Dark Hole in instead of the Ash for that specific game, but it happens. It was my only loss in the tournament. It was against an Infinitrack player, but more on that later. As for the last monster, we have Red Resonator. I never put him in. I know we go to time a lot, but we're usually gonna win game 1, even if we go first or second, unless we brick. Like, bricking, like I said, is the only bane of this deck, which it does only so often. It's really rare for it to brick, but it happens. Still, I don't know if I would cut it. If I do, I would just put the Muting, the level 3 Runick Fusion, so that way we can still gain life in the end phase. It's not as quick as Red Resonator or consistent, but it's still there. We also have 2 Dark Holes. I never cited them in. Like I said in my last video, my card pool is currently really limited right now, so I'm working with what I got, and I'm trying to maximize the cards I have to get results. I did well in the OTS tournament. I got top 4, so as you see, even with subpar side decking, the deck performed good enough to give me the top. We also have the 2 Cosmics in the 1 Heartbeast Feather Duster. This is just back row. You don't need a lot of back row removal because you run like the 3 Destruction in the main deck, but it's still good to have that extra protection against certain stuff like anti-spell. Like, against anti-spell, you really want to draw that out, so it happens. 2 Dark Lure, didn't set it in, but it's always good to have. I think it's going to be a bit better in the next format, since like Infernoble, Manadium, I don't know if it's that good against Rescue Ace, but it helps out. And finally, the Smashers. Like I said, I'm considering putting this in just so I always have a target to search off Jet. Even if we open like a Spright starter, we can search Smashers and we still got something, right? Didn't rely much on the side deck. Like, the Runick engine carries you. It's so good. I actually want people to play it. People hate playing against Runick, but the deck is so fun to play. It rewards you for playing good, knowing what you're doing, controlling the state of the game and the tempo, And I've been in and out of Runicks for a while, but I always go back to it because of how effective it is in all the metas. So now we go to the extra deck. We got the 2 Hugin and the 1 Gary. That's pretty standard. I stated that Gary is a bit annoying to get rid of, and he helps you with some battle phase shenanigans, where you can just summon him and crash into something. It's damage step, so he pops something that can negate. That's a bait, and then you can do like evenly match, wipe a board. You know, it helps you with some stuff, and you can also just sit back on it. He gets your fountain back, so he's really cool. That's all the fusions we run. We don't run the new Sleipnir or some stuff. It's not necessary. We just want to, this is a link deck, so we want to run a bunch of good links. So we run the Evil Twin Lila and the Evil Twin Kisikil. It's 2 and 2. Really consistent. You always want to first turn summon this first, summon the blue one, do Lila, and then summon this back and draw a card. You have to be mindful of zone placement, and you have to be mindful of which one you summon first, because that's the effect you're gonna get basically, unless both of them are in the field, which still you will only get one of the effects. So really good going second. I did play against some Bestials, which was a bit annoying, but it was annoying because I misplayed in one of the games, and I gave the opponent the opportunity to Bestial me when I could have played a much different. You also have the IP and the Muckracker. IP is basically your M board. Is custom card for this deck to summon one of the monsters we have in the extra deck, but this can go into basically any of your Link 4s or Link 5s, so it's really good. People usually also do like a battle phase just to get rid of the IP, but you have Runick Slumber. Like, battle phase doesn't matter, man. I'm just gonna Runick Slumber my IP. She's not gonna die. I'm still gonna IP my Serenity on main phase too, so you just wasted your battle phase. As for the Link 3s, this is supposed to be Nightmare Unicorn. I don't have the drawing right now because I had to take it out. I got it for the tournament, but like I said, I still have to order some cards and get my card pool going, because this is kind of sad at the moment. That's it for Link 3s. Link 4s. Trouble Sunny, she is insane. Like, the follow-up turn where you summon these two, where you have these two on board, you can just link off into Trouble Sunny, do this effect, revive them, and they can do their effects in chain. So that's really good. She also has the graveyard effect where she can banish herself, and you can send one of the Evil Twins to the graveyard, and you can send a card your opponent controls to the graveyard. So people forget about that, they don't expect that, and that can make clutch because it doesn't destroy, it just sends a card, if I'm not mistaken. Face up, send one card on the field to the graveyard. It doesn't target either, so that's really useful. As for the other Link 4s, we have Nightmare Griffin, which is basically custom card. It's supposed to say Evil Twin, Spright, Runick, Nightmare Griffin. For real, like, it's so easy to set up this lock in this deck just because of the zones that the Evil Twins provide, plus the IP making it on your turn. So on your opponent's turn, you really have lots to do, lots to play with as far as Link 4 goes, because you also can summon the Unchained Abomination. I'm sorry, which against certain matchups is just better. And sometimes you can even set up both, like you can put it right next to each other. If you're gonna summon this, remember not to summon like Abomination, the extra Link zone, because you're just giving them a zone, and that's one monster effect that they can activate. But still, popping like 1, 2, 3 cards with Unchained Abomination, and something cool happened during the tournament where they destroyed one of my monsters through battle, and Unchained Abomination actually trades from that, so I got to destroy one of their cards. So that happens. Underworld Goddess, she came in clutch in this tournament, just because I actually did play against a Dragoon player, and that was all he had, just because I could break the other stuff in his board, but Dragoon cannot be targeted or destroyed. So what you do is you just spam your board, set it up. If they didn't do the Dragoon with the vanilla, they cannot pop your monsters. So you're gonna go through battle. You're gonna do Slumber again, like Runick Slumber, all your monsters will survive, and then you will just link it off. Interaction also that came up in the tournament, Muckracker is insane. Like, Muckracker can revive any of your Link 2s, but she can also revive Underworld Goddess, Unseen Abomination, Nightmare Griffin, and the Evil Twin, and the Nightmare Unicorn. Like, she is really good. She also has an effect, which also came up in the tournament, where if a Fiend monster is going to be destroyed, you can just tribute a Fiend monster and prevent that destruction. So if they're going to go for your Evil Twins, you can just, and she's in your end board, which can happen because sometimes you want to extend to end with one of these in the graveyard, so that next turn you can revive the other one and do your stuff. You can just tribute it and protect one of your Evil Twins. So last card on the extra deck is Gigantic Spright. Just combo enabler. We only run one because you only need one. Even if he gets Ash or something, you can just protect it on the next turn. Again, with Slumber, like, this card is really insane, guys. I know it's a rare, but it gives you so much. It also mills 3. It's the only one you can activate on turn 1, just to banish 3 cards from the top of your deck, of your opponent's deck. That's card information. You can also use a Runick tip, but you know that's not the point. So yes, I wouldn't touch my extra deck for nothing. People have told me to put Sprint in. If I put Sprint, I would have to cut like the Underworld Goddess maybe, but she was so good during the for those unaffected monsters that which I played against, that I kind of did not want to cut it. But Sprint is good because Sprint, if you don't open with any Evil Twin names, you can just summon Sprint. You can start off by summoning Sprint, sending the Evil Twin name to the graveyard, and then you can summon the other one with Spright, do the first link, and now you got the Evil Twin engine. So it can come up, but it's not as important as having these toolboxes in your extra deck to try and manage with anything that your opponent throws at you, which is basically the base of the deck. I won by a lot by attacking. People just scoop up, like, I cannot win this. And I also milled pretty much almost everyone I did not kill. So yeah.